Hey y'all, Eric here with another video and a dry throat. Hope you all are doing well on this Thursday evening. I'm jumping on here in reference to a new release that was reported by KMBC News out in Kansas City. This was reported today, right around 6 p.m. And so, a federal judge in Rhode Island has ordered the Trump administration today to find the money to fully fund SNAP benefits for November, a decision that the administration promptly appealed. Of course, as always, I will link this in the description. The ruling by U.S. District Judge John J. McConnell Jr., no relation that I'm aware of to Mitch McConnell, gave President Donald Trump's administration until Friday, tomorrow, to make the payments through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, though it's unlikely the 42 million Americans, about 1 in 8, most of them in poverty, will see the money on the debit cards they use for groceries nearly that quickly. Now, I'll stop right here and say, but yesterday, and I'm in North Carolina now, having previously lived in Missouri and in Kansas City, Josh Stein, our governor, made the announcement that they received communication from the Trump administration that the SNAP benefits that would have been 50% of what everybody got would be on the debit cards by end of week. Now, what end of week means, end of week would be tomorrow, or it could be Saturday, or it could be Sunday. Because on the news today, they were saying that the Trump administration said that there was a miscalculation, an error, saying that instead of the mistake was that it was going to be 50%, but it should have been 65%. But going back to this article, that is also referenced in here as well. The order was in response, the order was in response to a challenge from cities and nonprofits complaining that the administration was only offering to cover 65% of the maximum benefit, a decision that would have left some recipients getting nothing for this month. The defendants failed to consider the practical consequences associated with this decision to only partially fund SNAP, McConnell said in a ruling from the bench after a brief hearing. They knew that there would be a long delay in paying partial SNAP payments and failed to consider the harms individuals who rely on those benefits would suffer. McConnell was one of two judges who ruled last week that the administration could not skip November's benefits entirely because of the federal shutdown, because that's what the Trump administration was saying, that it was possibly illegal for them to tap into the Department of Agriculture's rainy day fund, which held some $5 billion, to use that for SNAP. But 26 states, all of them with Democratic attorney generals, sued the government, which is why these two judges made their decisions. But this decision today about fully funding SNAP is new to the conversation. Shortly after the judge's rulings, lawyers for the Trump administration filed a motion to appeal contesting both Thursday's decision and the earlier one last Saturday that ordered the federal government to use emergency reserves to fund the food program throughout November. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Thursday. And so that is essentially the main piece of this article. I just wanted to get on here and let y'all know about it. But like I said, this was, just so you can see it, this was reported by KMBC News out of Kansas City, Missouri, about 6 p.m. tonight. There is a video attached to it. Something seems to be wrong with it. That's why I was reading But KMBC reported this from the Associated Press. And so now that we are in now the record-breaking longest government shutdown in American history, again under the Trump administration, the FAA has today made the announcement that flights will be cut to give air traffic controllers some relief, because they have worked now for a month along with certain other agencies deemed essential workers in the federal government who have essentially gone a month without a paycheck. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy made the announcement today that he will be cutting flights to give them some relief from the stress at work, but now also the stress of not having any money to pay the bills. And so my housemate and good friend, he had planned in part to go to visit his mother this weekend. He has some time off coming. But American Airlines today said that starting tomorrow through Sunday, they are going to cut 4% of their flights. Meaning that, particularly with Charlotte Douglas, if you had left today, there probably wouldn't have been any issue with you getting to your destination. But because of what's going to happen next week, you might have had a problem getting back, because the airlines were telling people you need to have a plan B and a plan C. Because American Airlines said that while they were cutting 4% of their flights through Sunday, starting Monday, if the government is still shut down, they're going to cut 10% of their flights. And so, and my housemate's niece was planning on coming down here in December, early in December, to visit. But that may not happen now if she decides to back off getting a ticket and being too nervous about losing the money. And yet again, apparently there has been some negotiation starting in the Senate on Capitol Hill. But again, a vote was taken, and so the government continues to be shut down. History-making shutdown. And is Trump doing anything? No, he's not. He is still on this thing about getting rid of the filibuster so that the Republican Senate will just have a simple majority to get his agenda done and do all this. This will probably, I thought I said this on another video of mine, but this will probably be one of the minute times I have ever agreed with the president. That I also too think that the filibuster is just a crutch. It is a weapon for both sides to use to stop things. It was used to stop Merrick Garland from being a Supreme Court justice during the Obama administration. And so I personally think that the American people should demand that the filibuster be removed, and then put people in these seats, whether it is the House of Representatives or the Senate, who are not children impersonating adults, that they understand that they have a job to do and they need to sit down and get it done. It is absolutely ridiculous and unacceptable that instead of getting a budget done for the whole year, that they keep kicking the can down the road because they don't understand that one side just cannot get everything that it wants. And yes, I'm laying the blame at the feet of the Republicans, particularly the MAGA faction, and the bootlicker and ring kisser in the House side of Mike Johnson and the bootlicker and ring kisser on the Senate side of John Thune. But the Democrats don't get a pass either. They don't. Because I agree with other people. They're being too passive. They're not being aggressive enough. And there need to be people, and I will tell you, I don't run. A lot of people keep telling me I should run for public office. And the reason I have never done it is because I am kind of mean. I will look at somebody and tell them they have lost their ever-loving mind, or I will tell a constituent, you can get out of here with that. You don't understand how government works. And then I won't get reelected. And so if I were to do it on my campaign trail, I would tell people, because of my style, more than likely, I would only be in it for one term, because after my term is up, based on what I say and what I do, you may not want me to be there, because it can't just be me trying to get things done. I can't. And so, a new friend of mine who is an incumbent in our school district race here lost her seat. And it's of my opinion that she shouldn't have. Not in her district, she shouldn't have. And I'll just have to wait and see who the new representative who won in that district, and see what they will do. But it won't be what this incumbent had brought to the table. And so I sent a message saying that I was sorry that she lost her seat. But after she's taken some time for herself, she is still going to be the education champion that she is. And maybe there will be another opportunity will present itself for her to keep moving Charlotte-Mecklenburg County schools forward without actually being in one of the seats, at least this time. Because they are setting policy for the next 4 years. But that's my report for today. Like I said, I will link that Associated Press article in the description of this video. Start conversations and talk about this, because people going hungry, that's another pillar beside the people who are going without health care because they live in areas where hospitals are closing and doctors' offices are closing. So take care, and I will see you on the next one. But always remember these two things. Number one, elections have consequences. And number two, resistance is not futile. If you needed any proof about that, all you have to do is to remember what happened election night. It wasn't just a blue wave, it was a blue tsunami. Take care.